أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Welcome all to G4 Holy Qur'an class for Muta'allimat. Hope you all are doing well by the grace of Allah. I am your day teacher today and I will be assisted by the teaching assistant and the support teacher inshallah. Before we start our class, please ensure that you are sitting in a quiet room and you have performed wudu
has entered the waiting room. Press C and
um, kindly make sure that you have covered your head. Also that you have logged in with your correct ID so that the attendance can be marked and the support teacher can recognize you. Jazakumullah. We will now start the class with Adiyatul Quran. So I will request ST to unmute a student, please.
G450 hand has been
Can I
raised.
please request G424 to come on the mic?
Press CMD and tilde to open popper. Raised hand. G450 raised hand. Close. View.
Assalamualaikum.
CMD and tilde to open popper.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullah.
Walaikum salam.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi
Assalamualaikum.
wabarakatuh.
G450. Sorry, G424.
I am
Assalamualaikum.
G424.
Okay, Jazakumullah. Could you please start the dua after Ta'awuz and Tasmiyah?
Okay.
أعوذ
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان.
I'm G424, but someone is
Sorry, there was a confusion. G424. Please continue the recitation.
okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ربنا ظلمنا أنفسنا وإن لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكونن من الخاسرين.
Mashallah, Jazakumullah, very well recited. Just over here, when you were pausing, please don't pause in between the word. So, lanakunanna. So, you can pause either after this word or before this word. Okay. Could you please continue the translation, reading the translation, please?
O Lord, we have wronged ourselves, and if thou forgive us not and have not mercy on us, and shall surely be of the lost.
We shall surely be of the lost. Jazakumullah. So this is from Surah Al-A'raf, verse 24. And G. Also, this is a prayer of Prophet Adam alayhi salam and his partner. Jazakumullah for coming to the mic. Now, Jazakum. Sorry. Now we move on to Hadith-e-Nabawi. Can I ask ST to unmute another student, please?
Can I please request G446 to come on the mic?
G446. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. Can you start after the Tasmiyah and also the Durood Sharif?
Yeah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. عن أبي أمامة باهلي قال سمعت رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم يقول اقرأوا القرآن فإنه يأتي يوم القيامة شفيعا لأصحابه.
P479 has left.
Jazakumullah. Very well recited. Over here, you can join this, right? Amamatul Bahili. Okay, that's a name. So can you also read the translation, please?
जी. Abu Umama, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, I heard the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam saying, read the Quran, for it come as an intercessor
Intercessor.
for its companions on the day of resurrection.
Jazakumullah. Mashallah, very well recited, and Jazakumullah.
Hand.
Okay, now we will move on to Malfuzat. So ST, can I have a student on mic, please?
Can I please request G450 to come on the mic?
Assalamu alaikum, G450.
Walaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Saying, O promised Messiah, peace be upon him, read the Holy Quran and never despair of Allah. A believer never becomes despondent of Allah. It is included in the habits of disbeliever that they become hopeless of Allah Almighty. Our God is Qadir, all-powerful, over everything. Read the translation of Holy Qur'an, beautify your prayers, and understand its meaning as well. Also supplicate in your own language. Do not read the Holy Quran and considering it as an ordinary book. Rather, read it as as the word of Allah Almighty. Malfuzat, Volume 2, page 191. Jazakallah.
Jazakumullah. Okay, so now we will move on to next session. We will move on to the quiz, and I ask TA to take over. Jazakumullah.
Jazakallah, Diti. So, Assalamu alaikum everyone. Let's start our today's quiz. Question number 1 is, what is the main objective of man's creation according to the Holy Quran? As you can already see the answer, so I will still read out the options. A, righteous deeds. B, gaining knowledge. C, worship of Allah. Or D, helping God's creation. We know the answer is worship of Allah. This was a mistake there. So moving on to the second question. Which Arabic letter is used as a sign for ruku section? Is it ta? Is it ain? Or is it meme? Or is it jim? ST, can I have a student on mic?
Can I please request G479 to come on the mic?
G479, Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
I am not sure which Arabic letters used as a sign for ruku.
So when
I'm
you're
gonna go with
reciting the
ayn.
Quran, yes,
Ayn.
it is ayn. Well done, Jazakallah. It's the ayn
Jazakallah.
sound. Moving on to question number 3. When is a letter called maksur letter? A, when it carries madda. B, when it carries fatha. C, when it carries sukoon. Or D, when it carries kasra. ST, can I have a student?
Can I please request G411 to come on the mic?
G411. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
It's D when it carries a kasra.
Well done. That is correct. When it carries a kasra, it's called a maksulat. Jazakallah. Question number 4. If a believer's wife dies, leaving children and husband behind, what share of inheritance will her husband receive? A, is it 25%, B, 50%, C, 75%, or D, 100%? ST, can I have a student?
Can I please request G481 to come on the mic?
G481. Alaikum assalam.
I'm not sure, but I think it's C.
C, well, not quite, but the actual answer is 25% of inheritance is shared with the husband. Jazakallah. And moving on to our last question. During which postures of Salat is the recitation of the Holy Quran prohibited? A, during Qada and Sajda, B, during Qiyam and Ruku, C, during Ruku and Sajda, or D, during Qiyam and Sajda? ST, can I have a student?
Can I request G465 to come on the mic?
G465, Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
I think it's C.
It is C, which is during Ruku and Sajda. So we shouldn't recite any Quranic prayer in Ruku and Sajda because Quranic verses have a very special status. So the Holy Prophet ﷺ would not recite them in these lower, humble positions. Jazakallah, and this concludes the quiz segment. Now I will hand over the mic back to the DT.
Jazakumullah, TA, for the quiz. So now we will move on to our lesson for today. So we are going to learn about extended elongation today, which is also known as Madde Zaid. So what is Madde Zaid? So we have already learned in the previous classes that when consonant letters are followed by letters of mad, they are prolonged for 2 seconds. So to refresh, letters of mad is alif, waw, and ya. But sometimes this sound needs to be stretched further. So an easy way to understand this is by, understanding that the extended elongation is broadly classified into 2. The first one is al-maddu saghir, which is also known as medium long stretch. And the second one is al-maddul kabir, which is extra long stretch. So a maddu saghir is identified by this sign, a tilde sign. And over here you can see that. And it can be prolonged for 3 to 5 seconds. Okay. So over here, an example is that Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allati an'amd. Okay, so a count of 3 to 5 seconds, Madda Saghir can be stretched. And the next one is Al-Maddul Kabir, or extra long stretch, which is prolonged for 4 to 6 seconds. And you can see the sign is this one. So we will prolong it for 4 to 6 seconds. For example, Allah. Okay, so in order to understand this further, we can also classify this to different other rules. So the first one is al-maddul munfasil. Okay, so maddul munfasil is also known as detached elongation. This involves 2 successive words. When the letter of elongation appears at the end of the first word and the next word starts with the hamza alif or an alif with the stroke. So the duration of this mad is 4 counts. One common thing is we always think that al-madd al-saghir and madd al-munfasil are the same, but we have to understand that this is different. Al-madd al-munfasil is detached elongation, and it is applied on 2 words, 2 successive words. So over here you can see the letter of prolongation, that is alif. Yeah, and following that in the next word, you can see it starts with the hamza alif or a madmoom alif over here. So what we will do, we will prolong that for 4 counts. So that is maddul munfasil. Now, the next one is al-madul muttasil or attached elongation. This is also known as al-madul wajib. Okay, so madul muttasil involves only one word. So when is this rule applied? So when a hamza appears after a letter of elongation within a single word. Okay, within a single word, when a hamza appears after the letter of prolongation, then that mad is known as al-madul muttasil or madul wajib. So over here you can see that there is a letter of mad, that is an alif, okay, and then it is it is followed by a hamza. So what we will have to do, we will have to prolong this for 4 to 5 counts. Okay, so a little bit more than al-madul munfasil. So again, another common thing that we do is we will think that al-madul kabir and madul muttasil are the same, but they are different, because if you see over here, we can see there is a madul kabir, but this is followed by the letter Jim and not Hamza. So this is not a madul muttasil, but this is a madul kabir. So again, you can, in short, you can remember that it is prolonged for 4 to 6 seconds. And in the Holy Qur'an, the name of part 30, which is Amma Yatasaalu. So over here, you can find that there is a letter of mad, and it is the next letter is a hamza, and it comes in the same word. So this is an example of al-madul muttasil or madul wajib. Okay, so moving on. The third type of mad is al-madul lazim. Okay, so this is also an extended elongation. So madul lazim means compulsory elongation. Okay, and this is applied when a sakin or a mushaddad letter, that is a letter bearing a sukoon or a letter bearing a shadda, appears after the letter of prolongation. Then we will have to prolong this for 5 to 6 counts. So al-madul lazim is the longest one, so you have to prolong it for at least 5 to 6 counts. So for example, over here you can see there is a letter of prolongation, and then the next letter is a lam sakin. So we will apply madul lazim over here, and we will prolong it for at least 5 to 6 counts. Okay, so 5 to 6 counts you have to prolong. So another example is the alif mad. There is an alif mad over here, and then the next letter is a lam mushaddad. So here also we have to apply the rule of madul lazim. And madul lazim is also applied in haruful muqatta'at or the disjoint letters. So you might already know that there are 14 letters, and in the beginning of 29 chapters, these letters are read separately or disjointly. Like for example, alif lam mim. So here also you have to apply the rule of madul lazim, that is, you have to prolong it for 5 to 6 counts. Now, one thing that we need to make sure is that when we read the letters, we have to apply the rule of tajweed as well. All the tajweed rules must be applied over here. So for example, this alif, lam, mim. So lam is la, alif and mim, right? And the next letter is mim. So when two mim come together, you have to apply the rule of mim shafawi, idgham mim. You have to apply the rule of ikhfa mim shafawi. Okay, so there will be a strong nasal sound, and those two memes have to be joined together, right? Also over here, if you see kaf ha ya ain swad. Okay, so when Ain ends, there is a Noon and the next letter is a Swad. So here you have to apply the rule of Ikhfa. Okay, so a concealed nasal sound has to be produced. So again, and the parts of 1, 12 and 26 of the Holy Quran, as you can see over here, these are also example of Maddul Lazim. Now the next rule is Maddul Waqf or Maddul Arid. Okay, so this means a temporary elongation due to a pause. So when a verse or a part of verse ends with a consonant preceded by a letter of elongation, then we can apply this rule. So this rule is like depends on the mode of your recitation. So if you are a fast reader, then this rule will be applied for 2 seconds or 4 seconds. And if you are a slow reader or you recite the Holy Quran in a slow pace, then this rule will be applied for approximately 6 seconds. Okay, so lil muttaqeen. So the consonant is Noon and it is preceded by Ya Madhya here. So these are the rules that you have to be careful when you have to do the extended prolongation. So now I would request ST to unmute a student so that we can practice these rules.
Can I please request G458 to come on the mic?
G411 hand
Assalamu alaikum. G458.
close. You press CMD until
Okay, so can you please start with Thousand Tasniya and read these 3 words?
open popper. G4 has left the meeting. G407
للمتقين ينفقون تكذبان.
Jazakumullah. So can you tell me which rule you have applied over here?
In the I'm so sorry.
In the end, like when you were reciting, you're pausing over here. So can you tell me which rule you applied over here?
I'm so sorry. No, I actually can't. I'm sorry.
Yeah, this is like Maddul Waqf or Maddul Arid, that you know the consonant. This is known as a consonant, right? And then it is preceded by the Vav Madhya. So this is one of the Mad letters. So what you will have to do is you will have to prolong it for 2, 4 or 6 seconds depending upon your mode or mode.
G458
Okay, Jazakumullah for coming to the mic. So now we will move on to the surah. So I will hand over to the TA to start the surah practice.
Jazakallah Diti. Let me share my screen. So, ST, can I have a student on the mic?
Can I please request G440 to come on the mic?
G440. Assalamu alaikum. G440.
Can I ask the next student, G445, to come on the mic, please?
G445. Assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum assalam. Could you start with Tawuz Tasmiyah?
Yes. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Jazakallah. Before we move on to the actual verse, could you read this word again?
Okay. A'udhu billahi min.
Okay. So here, because we have the word Allah, right? And if we have the word Allah and before that, if it's kasra, then this lam does not need to be rounded, or there's no need to be pronounced with thick or broad sound. So this will be billahi.
Okay.
Try again.
A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim.
And this one as well.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Jazakallah, this was much better. And let's start this verse, verse number 49 from here.
Okay. واذكر إسماعيل واليسع وذكفل وكل من الأخيار.
Okay, Jazakallah. Do you know what sign is this one mean?
Yeah, Alif Madia.
It's not, because we don't have any alif here. Can you see alif?
Oh no, sorry, it's you have to prolong it for 2 seconds.
And why 2 seconds?
Because it's the
What's the name of this stroke?
is it the vertical fatha?
Well done, it is
Yeah.
vertical fatha. So this needs to be prolonged for 2 seconds. If you read from this part again.
Okay. واذكر إسماعيل.
It was much better, but make sure this is 2 seconds. Ismail.
Okay. Should I try again?
Yes, please.
واذكر إسماعيل.
Jazakallah, that's much better. And could you read this part again? The highlighted one?
Yeah. وذل كفل.
Okay, before you said kifli, because we have this store, right? So this means it's a compulsory stop, and when you make a stop, then you don't need to read this kasra. This will turn into sakin lam, kifli.
Okay.
And why did we not prolong this the, and why did you join it with lam? What is the rule here?
It's because they're blank alifs.
Well done. And it's the wasl rule, so which means we ignore this blank alif and we join with the sakin letter. And continue from here up to the end.
Okay. وكل من الأخيار.
Jazakallah. And do you know which rule was applied on this here?
Yeah, it's the mushaddad rule, so it's for, is it the meme mushaddad?
Yes, it is.
So it's for 2 to 3 seconds.
Yes, that's also. Do you know there's another rule? So it's mim mushaddad, so it's 2 seconds with the wanna.
And it's an inverted dhamma as well.
But
no,
it's tanween here,
it's
right?
tanween, sorry, yeah.
Yeah, so this is idgham rule as well here with
Yeah.
one. And we have learned this in our today's lesson. When you are stopping here and you said akhyar, what rule was applied at the end?
It was it was the madul saghir at the end.
Not madul saghir. Madul saghir has a stroke. It's madde arif.
Oh, okay, yeah, the one you do the stop, the compulsory
Yeah.
stop, yeah.
So when a verse ends with a consonant letter, which is ra, and it's preceded by alif maddiya, waw maddiya, or ya maddiya, or any letter of elongation, then this is a rule of madul arif. Okay?
Yes.
Jazakallah for coming on the mic. ST, can I have another student on the mic?
Can I request ID G460 come on the mic, please?
G460.
Let's move on. Can I request ID G471 come on the mic, please?
G471. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
Could you start from here, starting with ta'awuz and tasmiyah?
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم هذا ذكر وإن للمتقين لحسن مآب.
Jazakallah, that was really good. I will ask a few questions so just to make sure that you're aware of the rule names. What rule was applied on this noon?
Inna is a Gonna letter?
It will be pronounced with a one, so it's a noon mushaddad, right?
Yes.
So this will be nasalization for 2 seconds or 2 times. What in? Okay. And what rule was applied on this one?
Ya Madhya, 2 seconds.
Ya Madhya, 2 seconds. And when you made a pause, when you stopped here, there were 2 rules on this word. Can you name them?
One was kalkala and
On letter.
Moderate kalkala on ba.
Yeah, medium jerk on ba. And second?
Depending on the mode of recitation.
Yes.
And this is madde arif. I think you can prolong it less or more.
Because we have this alif with the with vertical patha, which is a letter of elongation. So the verse ending with a consonant preceded by this letter of elongation. That's why it's Mad al-Arid. Jazakallah. Right, ST, can I have another student?
Can I request ID G461 come on the mic, please?
G461.
Assalamualaikum.
Walaikum assalam. Could you read the next ones?
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم جنات عدن مفتحة لهم الأبواب.
Sorry, can you read it again?
Sure. جنات عدن مفتحة لهم الأبواب.
Could you try reading just these 2 words from up to the end?
Okay, can I just switch my fan off? Noise. Maybe that's why you couldn't hear me. مفتحة مفتحة لهم الأبواب.
So when you are pronouncing this humul, make sure you do not pause here. You need to join everything.
Yes.
Okay? Try again.
Okay. مفتحة لهم الأبواب.
مفتحة لهم الأبواب.
مفتحة الأبواب هم الأبواب.
لهم الأبواب.
لهم الأبواب.
Yeah, Jazakallah. And can you tell me what rule you applied on this one?
Calcula, medium jerk.
Yes. And what rule was applied here?
I don't know the right words, but I think it's where you the tashdid letter and then also the noon. It's like a nasal sound. So
it's the rule of assimilation here. So it's mim or mim mushaddad rule. So this will be pronounced with Nughanna and 2 seconds.
Okay.
And what was the rule here at the end when you stop?
Also the jerking letter, the bar.
Yes,
and
well
also
done.
you can put it long.
So do you know the name of that rule we covered in the lesson
We
today?
just heard earlier, I don't know the right word, but I know that because it depends on, you can pull it either 2, 4, 6 seconds, depending on your mode of recitation.
So
I
it's
think
called
it's Arshi or something.
Madul Arid.
Ari, sorry.
Yeah. Jazakallah. And moving on. ST, can I have another student on mic?
Can I request ID G438 come on the mic, please?
G438. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Sorry, could you show me again where I'm starting from?
Yeah, from here.
Because that's right. Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم متكئين فيها يدعون فيها بفاكهة كثيرة وشراب.
Jazakallah. Can you tell me which rule you applied on while reading this word?
I think I applied the kalkala.
On which letter?
On the dal.
Well done. On dal, it was kalkala. And which rule was applied on this word?
Is it alif madya?
Alif madya
and what's it called? I know it's the ya, but I forgot what the rule was called.
So like alif madya, this is ya madya.
Oh, ya madya,
Yes.
right.
And when you made a pause here because you were running out of breath, so how would you stop in terms of making a pause here?
Oh, hat.
So try again this word.
Bifakihat.
This ta will turn into ha sound.
Oh,
so
yes.
Bifakiha.
Bifakiha.
Yeah. And then if you were to continue, then you will read as usual. So if you could try from fiha up to the end again.
In one breath?
Yes.
Okay. فيها بفاكهة كثيرة وشراب.
Jazakallah, that was much better. And also here, because it's tanween, we haven't covered this rule yet, but this is the rule of ikhfa here. After tanween, if we have letter kaf, this is one of the ikhfa letters, so which means you need to conceal the sound of noon at the end of tanween. So this will be kathiratin. Okay?
Okay.
So this will not be read as clearly.
Yes.
And can you also tell me, when you were stopping here, which rule you applied?
Oh, was it the arid, the waqf?
Yes. Madd al-arid. Yes.
Yeah.
And
also
one
moderate kalkala?
Yes, well done. Medium jerk. Jazakallah for coming on the mic.
Jazakallah.
ST, can I have another student?
Can I ask ID G454 come on the mic, please?
G454.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.
Wa alaikum assalam. Could you start from this verse, please?
Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وعندهم قاصرات الطرف أتراب.
You can continue.
هذا ما توعدون. Sorry. Can I read it again?
Yes.
هذا ما توعدون ليوم الحساب.
Jazakallah. Very well done. It was beautifully recited. And I'm going to ask a few questions here. Do you know which stroke is this one on Qaf?
Vertical fatha,
And what is the rule?
2 seconds prolong it when it any letter.
Well done, Jazakallah. And what rule you applied on this one?
Ba kalkala letter, so I did it moderate kalkala here.
And there was another rule which was covered in today's lesson.
Madularis are also here.
And how do you know if this is Madularis? How would you explain that rule?
Because when we pause any letter, the previous letter is any elongation letter like alif madya, or any other letter.
Yes, well done. And this is Madul Arid. And what rule you applied on this one?
Vaw madya rule here applied.
Well done. And what about here?
Maddeleen, vowleen.
Vowleen. Jazakallah, well done. Really good answer. ST, can I have another student on mic?
Can I request ID G465 come on the mic, please?
G465. Walaikum assalam. If you could start from here.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن هذا لرزقنا ما له من نفاد هذا وإن للطاغين لشر مآب.
Jazakallah. Could you read this one again? I think you made like a slight mistake in the stroke pronunciation.
Okay. Inna lit-tagheen.
Jazakallah, that was good. And what rule was applied on this one?
It's Gunna rule.
Gunna rule. And what about this one?
It's also a shaddad letter.
So how do you read a mushaddad letter?
Sharra, like 2 seconds. 1 second is up.
Not 2 seconds, but with thickness, right?
Thickness.
And when you were stopping here, what rule you applied?
I'm not sure.
So if you remember in today's lesson, you covered the mad rule. Was it mad munfasil, mad al-muttasil, or mad al-arid?
Mad al-arid.
Mad al-arid, because?
Is a vertical fatha?
On alif, so this is,
alif.
Yeah, so it's the letter of elongation. And ba is preceded by letter of elongation, so this is mad al-arid. Jazakallah. And do you know what this means?
I think it's 3/4.
So this is sulus. The word sulus means is the 3/4 of the surah. So we've reached the 3rd quarter of the surah. Jazakallah for coming on the mic. ST, can I have another student?
Can I request ID G449 come on the mic, please?
G449.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah.
Wa alaikum assalam.
From here, Jahannam?
Yes, please. Yes.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم جهنم يصلونها فبئس المهاد هذا فليذوقوه حميم وغساق.
Jazakallah. That was beautifully recited. I've got a couple of questions to ask. There was no mistake at all, so well done. What rule was applied on this one?
Sorry, one moment. Yeah, it is Waw Sakin. Before that, Waw Sakin Lam is having a fatha. So
Yes.
it is a Madde Leen.
Yes. And which lean letter is it?
Waw Sakin and
Vowel. So
there
it's
are
a vowel.
two.
Yeah.
Yeah, Waw Leen. Yeah. The
Jazakallah.
2 seconds. Yeah.
And what rule you applied when you made a pause, when you made a stop here?
Yeah, the rule of Madde Are,
Yes.
as well as Kalkala, Dal.
Yes. Well
Yeah.
done.
Yeah.
And what does this law mean?
It means no need to stop here.
Yeah.
It's better to continue.
Yeah, because la means not, and it's you must continue.
Yeah. If
And
we
what?
stop, then what
Yeah.
happens? Nothing. If we have short
If
of breath.
you are short of breath, then you can stop, and then you have to go back and start again because you are not meant to stop on this law.
Jazakallah.
And what rule was applied on this one?
Yeah, it's idgham, assimilation.
Idgham. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Before that, it's double tanween.
Yes.
That's why we have to just nasalization.
Yeah.
Nasal sound. Yeah.
So it's idgham naqis.
Naqis, yeah.
And what rule you applied when you made a stop here?
The same one before that,
Yeah.
Rasak is mean like Madde Arid.
Yes.
And because of Kalkala.
Kalkala on which letter?
Cough.
Well done.
Yeah.
Really good answer. Jazakallah for coming on the mic.
Jazakallah.
ST, can I have another student?
Can I request ID G459 come on the mic, please?
G459.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وآخر من شكره أزواج هذا فوج مقتحم وأقم لا مرحبا بهم إنهم صالوا النار.
Jazakallah. Could you tell me what rule you applied on this?
Wowling.
It's vowel, well done. And what about on this one?
Mim gunna.
Mim gunna, which is nasalization, right? So this is 2 seconds, the 2 counts. And what about on this qaf?
Kalkala.
Kalkala on letter qaf, which is the jerking sound.
Yes.
And what about this one?
Mim gunna.
Mim gunna. And if it's a meme socket, I'm sorry, meme tanween on meme and it's meme mushaddad, the following letter, then it is called idgham shafwi. We haven't covered this, but we will, inshallah, in our class. And what does this G mean? Do we continue, do we stop, or is it optional?
I'm not sure. I think it's optional.
It is optional, yes. If you can stop or you can continue, it's up to you. And do you know which rule was applied on this one? This small meme that you can see.
You go for the meme sound, not the double fatha, not the noon.
So yeah, so that tanween, because we have letter ba after tanween, right?
Yes.
So this means that tanween changes into the meme sound. And this is the rule of iqlab.
Iqlab, Jazakallah.
And what about this sign? Do we stop here or do we continue?
We stop, I believe.
Sorry?
We stop.
Yes, it's a compulsory stop and we must stop here. And this saw, make sure this is the pronounced with thickness because it's one of the taqweem letters. So make sure this is not read as salu because that would sound as a seen letter, right?
Yes, please.
So this needs to be salu. Could you read this part again from innahum?
Innahum salunar.
Jazakallah, that was much better. Jazakallah for coming on the mic.
Jazakallah.
ST, can I have another student?
Can I request ID G434 come on the mic, please?
G434, Assalamu alaikum. G434.
Let's move on. Can I request ID G430 come on the mic, please?
G430.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. Could you read this verse
It's
for me,
ID
please?
G434.
Okay,
I was not able
G434.
to unmute before that.
Okay, Jazakallah for letting me know. If you could read this verse.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وآخر من شكله أزواج.
Jazakallah. I'm only asking you to read a very little one because we have short time left. Can you tell me which rule is applied on this one?
This is Mad Munfasil.
And well done. How did you identify this?
Because this is Mad Kabir. It's the shape and the vertical fatha as well underneath it.
It's Maddil, sorry, it's Maddil Saghir.
Yeah.
And it's Maddil
Maddil
Munfasil. But then what was the rule of Maddil Munfasil?
I think it's when it's there is a alif after it.
It is alif, and because there are two successive words, and the first word is having a Maddil Saghir, the letter of elongation, and the next word is starting with alif, as you can see here. Jazakallah for spotting that. And which rule you applied on this one when you stopped?
Kalkala, moderate kalkala.
On letter?
Jim.
And there was another rule which we learned in today's class, which applies here.
Ares.
Well done, it's Maddal Ares. Jazakallah. And I think we are now coming close to the end. I will hand over the mic back to the DT.
Jazakumullah. Let me share my screen. Okay, so today we learned about the extended elongation. So can I have a student on mic, please, to have the last practice?
Can I request ID G482 come on the mic, please?
G482, Assalamu alaikum. G482. Okay, no problem. Then we will quickly recap what we have learned today because we are running short of time. So we have learned about different type of extended elongation. So we learned about Madde Saghir and Madde Kabir and how to identify them. Then we learned about Madul Munfasil or the detached elongation, which involves in two successive words, which is prolonged for 4 seconds. Then we learned about Madul Muttasil or Madul Wajib, which is prolonged for 4 to 5 seconds. And then we learned about Madul Lazim. So when Madul Lazim when the letter of prolongation is succeeded by Mushaddad letter, also when it is followed by a Sakin letter. And also we learned about Haruful Muqatta'at, and we have to prolong the Madul Lazim for 5 to 6 seconds. And then we learned about Madul Ariz as well. Okay, so now we will move on to the final prayer. So can I ask ST to unmute a student, please?
Can I ask ID G435 come on the mic, please?
Assalamu alaikum, G434.
G435.
G435, sorry.
Give chance to G450.
G450, Assalamu alaikum. G450, can you please unmute yourself?
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Can you recite the ending prayer, please?
Yes, please. Prayer after reciting the Holy Quran. Allahumma anis wahshati fi qabri. Allahumma arhamni bil-Qur'anil azim. Waj'alhu li imaman wa nuran wa hudan wa rahmah. Allahumma zakkirni minhu ma nasit wa allimni minhu ma jahil warzuqni tilawatahu ana al-layli wan-nahar waj'alhu li hujjatan ya rabbal alamin. Amin. Oh
Jazakumullah.
Allah.
Very well, Jazakumullah for that. Jazakumullah, very well recited. Please make sure that you don't prolong the singles, the strokes, Fatta, Kasra, Dhamma for more than 1 second.
Okay.
Okay. Jazakumullah and Jazakumullah everyone for joining today's class. Inshallah, we will be seeing in next class. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.